Alrighty, welcome guys. Welcome to the Wraparound. I am your host, Mike Laro. Sorry for the music, guys. Unfortunately, in the Wraparound, the songs were deleted, so I had to use a oldie but goodie, which probably will be coming back in the future. So I had to use a different music. Being the outro is going to be kind of hard to do today too. So there's probably not going to be an outro video today, just to let you know, because it's not here. I'm also joined on live on my TikTok as well as we are doing the Wraparound today. Phil's right now in San Diego, and it's a 3-2 score right now in favor of the Padres. So make sure you guys check us out again on TikTok as well as on my personal TikTok as well as here on It's a Wrap Sports Network. Guys, we got to talk about it. It's the Phillies. Right now, for me, this Phillies team, I don't know, man. I don't know how far they're going to get. I really, really, truly don't. It's really kind of up in the air with these guys. Some nights they have offense, some nights they don't. So, for me, I'm going to be honest with you. What are we getting out of this Phillies team going forward? We will be touching base later on in the show about the Eagles. I will definitely, I would definitely, for the Eagles, we want to touch base. Some camp news. Might have a couple. Howie may have a couple, a couple more moves been talked about. But the big news today, guys, is the Phillies. Big news, Zach Wheeler pulled out of the All-Star game. No All-Star game for Zach Wheeler, so the only Philly representative in this game will be none other than Kyle Schwarber. So, hey, let's see what happens when we go that. Guys on TikTok, make sure you like and you share it out. So what's going on? Adam Cease checking in. He said over here, checking in on Facebook saying, what's up, Mike? What's up, Adam? Hopefully you are having a great Friday night as well as I am here. I am covering for one Pat Bernard. Pat Bernard also, he is my partner on Sunday mornings. So make sure you check us out 9 o'clock Sunday morning, just to see what's going on with us at our show is called P&M in the AM. For those on TikTok, make sure you guys check us out over there as well. Phillies questions, guys. Going forward, what are the ones what are the trades you want to see made? I mean, I know Matty B gets on here every, Sunday through Thursday. He's on here 10 o'clock with the final word on It's a Wrap. I want to know, he's saying what trades. I mean, if you're listening to him, it's all doom and gloom and that they can't make a trade and without giving up big pieces. I don't know, man. To me, I think the Phillies can right a little bit of the ship of what's wrong with this team. But again, look around the National League. Like, you got to look around the league sometimes. To me, it kills me. So you got to look around. You got to take the temperature of the room. Okay. The Mets are struggling. The Dodgers are really struggling. And, the Cubs are struggling as well. I mean, these are the three division leaders, along with the Phillies. The Phillies are back, they're going around. So I personally want to see what's going to happen. Joe Hale checking in. What's going on? Joe, how are you, my friend? Pat checking in. Oh, Adam checking in says, where is Pat checking out the buffet? If the gobbler is somewhere, he is checking out the buffet somewhere. I don't know what he's really doing, my man, but he's probably getting a little bit of R&R for this weekend. So hopefully Pat has a great time, and I don't mind filling in for him. Joe Hale says, I want to see the Phillies get James Durant. I would love to see him do that too. Joe, I just don't think they got enough in there. Boston's going to want a lot of stuff in return for Jarrett Durant. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be something for the Phillies to try to get them. Again, they're not going to fix all their woes at the trade deadline. And if you thought they were going to do that, you're kind of foolish because I don't think that's going to happen. So, again, Ryan Swope checking in. He says, Mike Laura, what's going on? What is going on, Ryan? We are just talking Phillies, I want to see what your guys' trades and some of the trade rumors that have been really kind of kicking around for the Phillies. I'll tell you what, I like the Class A and Stephen Kwan trade. I am willing to give up one of our pieces, but not Crawford. I don't want to. I don't want to give up Crawford. I think Crawford is a guy who's going to man our center field for at least a decade. You can't do that. I want him. I want him there. What's going on, everybody over in TikTok land? Pittsburgh Paul, looks like he's jumping in there. Pittsburgh Paul, thank you for checking in. We are talking about the Phillies right now and their trade. I like the trade that I saw with Cleveland, though. Class A, the closer, and Stephen, it's Stephen Kwan. I love it. Keith Lombardo saying, I'm afraid they will waste Crawford and not bring him in. I don't think they're going to waste Crawford. I think they're going to bring Crawford up. I think he's untouchable. I think Painter's untouchable, and I think Aiden Miller's untouchable. Those three are untouchable. I think everybody else is fair game. And Ryan Swope checking in saying the Phillies are 4 to 5 pieces away. I think so. I think you're right, Ryan. But at the trade deadline, they're not going to get 4 or 5 pieces. They may get 2, maybe 3. I do like to see them get rid of one of the outfielders, whether it be Brandon Marsh, whether it be Max Kepler. And I was a Kepler guy. I thought Kepler would come in and really help this team, and he hasn't. So, I mean, this is just something to me that's really been mind-boggling with this with Max Kepler. I thought he would really, really help them out. So it says Ryan saying not 1 or 2 or 3 pieces away, so one big trade won't help. No, you're right, Ryan. You're right. This is something that Dombrowski's going to have to fix in the offseason. Okay, him, Preston Mattingly, they got to get together. They got to get their heads on straight. They got to make sure that they get, what they need to do. I mean, for me, I'm sorry, but to me, they're like the Flyers, man. They're like in limbo, except this is the opposite. The Flyers got a young team and can't win. Now you got the Phillies that's got an aging team, and they're trying to infuse some young talent in there. And I would just, Keith Lombardo says, I hope you're right. I would get Class A and Kwan in a heartbeat. So would I. Kwan is a very good hitter, man. He's a very good hitter, and I would love to see what's going on. I'd like to be a fly on the wall right now in the Phillies general manager's office right now as they're talking with that. Ryan said, I'm afraid Dave Dombrowski will trade away future talent because he's desperate for his job. I don't think so. I think this situation with Dombrowski is really a little different than his years in Detroit and Boston. And I'm going to say this. Dombrowski was sitting in Nashville. He's waiting for Nashville to get a team. He's been wanting to get a team there. And, he was really sitting down in Nashville waiting for Major League Baseball to give them an expansion team. And then he was going to try and get the president of baseball operations down there. And the Phillies just happened to call him to come in. So I don't think he's really going to trade away the farm system, considering he really hasn't done it, other with the exception of Logan O'Hoppe. And I know Matty B beats that drum to death because they traded a pitcher or catcher, but he wasn't going to get no playing time here anyway with JT Realmuto. He was not going to get no playing time. So there was no sense in sticking him down and keeping him down in AAA for what? It's another Ryan Howard situation, really, if you ask me. So, again, guys, if you are watching on It's a Wrap Sports Network, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, X, share, subscribe. Make sure you do that. If you're watching me on my TikTok, make sure, again, send a few roses if you have to. Let's get this going. So I want to make sure that everybody is out there. They're knowing this is It's a Wrap Sports Network. You have myself, Pat Bernard, making sure everybody is myself, Pat Bernard, Steve Fuentes, Matty B, Matt Benarchek, and of course Al Safiri. We are right now, your group of we are your group, and except the new we do have a new show here, which I will be showing you guys. The Pittsburgh Sports Desk. Shadow Wolf. Hello, Mike. How are you, Shadow Wolf? Thank you. Linda, for tuning in. Linda's one of my longtime followers on both kind of things. So I am on here now doing this. We got Mick Delaney checking in saying, hi, everyone. Hi, Mick. How are you? We are pretty much in route. But, guys, I want to hear, what are some of the names that you guys are hearing that you want to hear or that you want to see this Phillies team get? You know, for me, like I said, I like the Class A and Quan deal as long as we don't have to give up one of the big three. You know, Mick Abel had another pretty good outing last night as well. From what I read, I didn't see the game, but I heard he had a pretty good outing as well. So, real quick, guys, here on It's a Wrap. Make sure you tune in. That's right, Sunday through Thursday, 10 o'clock. The Final Word with one Matty B. Make sure you check him out. He will be in covering all Philly sports. I love his this date in Philadelphia sports history. He does it really good. Also does a card thing as well. That's pretty good. Linda saying, long time no see, more like your sister. Yes, that is true, Linda. You definitely are. Linda is like family. It says, if not Clash, I wouldn't mind Batista. I wouldn't mind Batista either. You're talking about the kid from Pittsburgh. That's the other two. I wouldn't mind seeing the Phillies get the two relievers from out of Pittsburgh because God knows they're going to get rid of them anyway. Like I said, but on here, make sure you check out Matty B every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, every Thursday night, my partner, Pat Bernard and Steve Fuentes, they will have you covered with everything MLS soccer with the attacking third, of course, and it will be right harshly on their Philadelphia Union. Every Friday night, it's usually Pat. That's right. It says Sundays here, but it's every Friday night, 10:30 here on the on It's a Wrap Sports Network. Make sure you check Pat out. He will be back. And, of course, every Sunday morning, that's right, it's P&M in the AM. Myself, Pat Bernard, and Al Safiri. That's right. Your Sundays will never be the same. Trust me. You watch us, me and Pat fight worse than two dogs fighting over a hungry bull. So make sure you guys check them out. And for my viewers over on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, here is your schedule for the Fightins Final. That's right. TikTok, we have the Phillies. We cover all 162 plus. That's right. So make sure if you like your Phillies and you want non-real journalistic views, and none of us are journalists, I'll tell you that, but we give our opinions just as good as anybody else. Make sure you tune into the Fightins Final. That's right. Tonight, Big Al was pulling a late one tonight, buddy. Big Al will be on after the game between the Phillies and the Padres. And then, of course, Saturday, Matty B will be graciously doing the late game. And he's also doing the late game also on Sunday. If you are awake, the Sunday game should be about 4:30. So, but after that, make sure you guys tune in because Matty will have his Down on the Farm segment. That's not something you guys want to miss. Matty does a really good in-depth on Phillies prospects. He also does a great job of Flyers prospects leading up for the baseball draft and NHL draft as well. So Matty B here, he's the boss, but he puts his work in, and make sure you guys get over there and see him. To the people on TikTok, like I said, we cover all 162 Fighting Finals games. That's right. So if you want real, no BS, no whatever, like we give it to you straight here. Of course, Matty will probably say no, but yeah. He's saying Batista. Yeah, Batista from Baltimore. I'm trying to think of the kid from Pittsburgh they were talking about, and I thought that's who it was. Matty B looks so different in all his picks. Yeah, he's a handsome young fella, ain't he? Ryan, he really is. Keep saying the same thing. No, the Orioles closer. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to touch nobody from Baltimore. Like, the two teams I don't really want to see anybody from anymore is the Angels and Baltimore. If we could not do a trade with either one of those teams, I would be so happy right now because those teams to me, Joe Hale saying, I want the Twins closer. Yeah, that guy looks pretty electric. I'll tell you what, the one guy I don't want that's really been kind of irking my soul was Byron Buxton. I'm sorry, I'm not. Yeah, Santana and Benar. That's who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Santana. I don't want Byron Buxton. I mean, he's a good player. He's having a good year this year. This dude hasn't played over. He's played over 100 games twice. I'm good with that. We need somebody younger, and I'm okay with that. I'm really, really, truly okay with that. So for me, like I said, I want to make sure that what we have, as long as we can keep our top three guys in the system, I definitely want. I'll take Minnesota's closer, but other than that, yep, you're right, Ryan. Yep, they are from there. Buxton's always hurt. I'm getting that a lot over on the TikTok too. That Buxton's always hurt. I don't want him. And you know what? I was kind of on the fence about the Cedric Mullins thing, but then I thought about it. Like again, this is the Phillies and Orioles making a trade. Like last year, we got Austin Hayes. Basically, we got Austin Hayes and Seth Johnson basically for Greg Soto and Sir Anthony Dominguez. I just want to ask you crazy. Like, how bad did Phillies miss Sir Anthony Dominguez this year? Think about that. I mean, I know he's probably not having a good year in Baltimore, but how often does he? I bet you the Phillies kind of miss him in that bullpen right now. Cowboy Dave Yarnell checking in. Guys, to all my friends over that are Dallas Cowboy fans, make sure you check out Out of the Box Sports Network. Dave Yarnell and my man Paul Spencer, they host the Cowboys show over there for all my Cowboys friends, so make sure you tune into those guys. Dave, if you can, send me over when you guys are getting back on the horse with the Cowboys. I'll be more than happy to give you a little plug on that. Says, hey, Mike, how about this weather? All these crazy storms. Dave, you ain't got to tell me. Every time it rains, there's like 4 or 5 trees that fall here in Delaware County, PA. And I work for the state, so I got to go out and clear all these roads. Ryan Swope saying, Finnegan from Washington. You know what? I definitely like that. I like Finnegan, but I just think his market's going to be too high, Ryan. Keith goes, I feel you. That makes sense with not making trades with the Angels and Baltimore. Yeah, I'm so done doing trades with them guys. Like I don't care. And there was even a specific rumor. I was watching it the other day. I forget what show it was. I don't know if it was like High Heat. I think it was High Heat. And they were talking about it. They're talking about like Mike Trout might get traded, and I'm like, how is Trout going to get traded when he's hurt? Like he's out for the year. Like who's going to pick up that contract and go? Oh, yeah, I want him. He can't help us this year, but I'll take him. Give me a break with that, man. To me, like I said, I'm liking the fact that, these Phillies are pulling out. Some people wanted Ranger Suarez to go. They wanted Christopher Sanchez. I don't want none of them to go. Take the 3 days off. You go relax with your family, go do something, and just make sure you go get away from baseball, especially the way this team's been offensively in this first half of the year. My God, they've been abysmal. Like they either it's like the other day, they had 2 games against the Giants where they couldn't score any runs, and then the game I have on Wednesday afternoon, they beat them 13-0. It's crazy. What's going on, Janie? Thank you for joining the room over there. But yeah, it's crazy. It really is. Damn, I don't. Ryan, you know what? I know it's a Cowboy show, Dave. I'm like going on lack of sleep right now. So, Dave, I really do apologize to you and Paul. I usually have it right. I think it's the 215 boys. So make sure you check them out. I believe it's 215 boys, Ryan, over there for that show. But yeah, and I got to get with Mr. Spencer too because we got to start talking about college football. Joe Hale says top of the 5th right now, 3-2 Padres. Yeah, 3-2. I'll tell you what, man. Tatis kills the Phillies, doesn't he? Doesn't he kill the Phillies? I swear, him and what's the other guy? Profar, Jackson. Or no, not Profar. He's not on their team. Hell, I had his name up here. He had a pretty good series against them last week too, and he was killing the Phillies last year. In case if you guys are wondering, right now it's Mets are winning 1-0 in the looks like bottom of the 5th inning. So what is this? As soon as I see his name, I'm going to know who it is. Jackson Merle. That guy has been killing the Phillies. He's been killing the Phillies the last few weeks, the last few games that he's played them. So, I mean, this is crazy what's going on, man. It really is. I'm going to break into some. This is some news right now that they are talking about for the Phillies. Right now, it says they're looking at trying to get Johan Duran and Griffin Jacks. Those are two pitchers that the Phillies are looking at from the Minnesota Twins. Another one that I was hearing, and it's not bad. I mean, I'm not doing backflips over it. Harrison Bader could be a throw-in in those, could be in that mix. If you're looking at some of the guys that the Phillies might be giving away in this, you're looking at maybe Aaron Escobar, Eduardo Tate, which I don't want them to get rid of Eduardo Tate at all. I would like to see them try to hold on to him as much as possible. But Alex McFarland got mentioned, as well as Gene Cabrera and Henry Mendez are looking at where they're going. And, of course, as I stated just a little earlier with the whole thing with whether it being Kepler or Brandon Marsh or possibly both getting moved, to me, if they move both of them, so be it, man. Alan, thank you for joining, buddy. But I wanted to give this TikTok thing a shot tonight just to see how it works out. I'm not going to do it every time. I may do something in the future, but you guys on TikTok will find that out when I do it. Going on this thing with the Phillies though, this team was built to mash runs. They weren't built to play small ball. They were built to hit bombs and keep bombing away. And this team right now is really not doing that. I mean, it's kind of oddly enough, Castellanos actually went yard earlier in the game tonight. So, I'm kind of happy with that. But for me, this is crazy, man. Oh, man. Excuse me. Pause. I got to take a water break here. Sorry, fellas. Got to wet the whistle. Oh. But anyway, sorry about that. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to touch on the Flyers as well. I thought I liked what I heard. Basically, an outside review of the Flyers. Kind of really liked what I heard about them. We're going to switch gears real quick because we're done basically talking about the Phillies. I like what the Flyers have done. They've gotten bigger on the defensive line. When watching, I watched Kenny Danico and Bill Pito. They were doing a little desk thing there, and watched a little 5-minute clip on YouTube. Just listening to what they had to say about the Flyers. And, the one thing that people were kind of, I don't know, I guess they were kind of confused about what the Flyers is that they re-signed Cam York to a 5-year deal. Well, I'm not surprised that they re-signed him because they got rid of the guy that was benching him. So, for me, I think that's pretty good. It's a pretty good signing to go along with, Noah Cates and Tyson Forrester. They're able to go ahead and now, you got Zegras coming in to play. It's going to help out Mitchkov. I think Travis Konechny's going to have a bigger year too. I think he's going to be able to move. Owen Tippett, like I think the Flyers are going to be sneaky good this year. And what I mean by sneaky good is it all depends on what they get out of the goaltending situation. So I would really like to see, what's going on. Let me get rid of this one quick one for that. He says, I'm glad Joe Hale says, I'm glad that Wheeler's not going to the All-Star game and he gets well rested. I think that's why he did it, Joe. He said he wanted to be fresher and ready for that. Voracek is now a scout for the Flyers. He told free agents to come to Philly. Yeah, I think a lot of things are going to change now with the Phillies, with the Flyers, because Tortorella's not here. And that was kind of a stigma. People didn't want to come here and play for that dude. And I didn't understand it at first. I wasn't a real big fan of the hire, me and Pat. That's the one thing I think we actually agreed on, that we didn't want him here at all. I think they were kind of reaching for him, but I will give Tortorella credit. He was patient in the beginning. He really was. I think his patience just ran thin. And when your patience run thin, forget about it. Like, after a while, no coach wants to sit there and keep taking L's on his record. Sooner or later, he wants to start dishing out some L's, And I think that's just what happened with Tortorella, going forward. So, going forward now with this Flyers team, I think they're going to be sneaky good. Again, it all depends on the goaltending. Is Fedotov going to be able to step up and do something? Is Eriksson going to be able to do something? I like the signing of the goalie they got from Calgary. But again, I think that's just a depth piece, really, if you're looking at it going forward. Kozlov, what's he going to give you? So to me, that's the bigger issue. If they can get adequate to decent goaltending, man, I think the Flyers can make the playoffs. I mean, are they going to be a cup contender? Absolutely not. Will they go maybe win a game or two in the first round? Maybe. I don't see them getting past the first round, honestly. But can they make a playoff run, or can they make the playoffs? I think they can get in. I really do, especially the way some of these other teams have taken steps back. If you watched our show on Sunday, if you watch P&M and the AM, we had Will on from the Pittsburgh Sports Desk. And, he's talking about, like, some of the changes that the Penguins are going through out there in Pittsburgh. And, you figure Washington's getting another year older. I don't think they're going to be able to repeat what they did this year. I mean, they had the best record in the NHL and then got bumped. In typical hockey-style playoffs, they just got ran out of there. So, I mean, for me, listen, it's been hard to watch these winter teams here in Philadelphia, especially with the Sixers. The Sixers are just they're a joke. And to be honest with you, I like the kid that they drafted. The problem is, I'm kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm kind of like, I'm like Matty B when it comes to like Howie Roseman. That's how I am with like Joel Embiid. I've been wanting him out of here for like 5 years. So, after he won his MVP, I'm like, trade him now. And for some odd reason, man, people just didn't want to trade him. They don't want to trade the guy. Can never stay healthy. And if you go and look at the Sixers, everything has changed with the Sixers except him. So, he's got no more. I don't think he should have another coach. I think if Nick Nurse can't get the job done with him, guess what? I think if Nurse gets fired, he got to go with him. Or not go with him, but he got to join him getting out of Philly. So, I mean, to me, you listen to some of these guys like, the big three. I feel bad for Maxey because, I mean, Maxey's going to have the hardest and most strongest shoulders in the world carrying, Joel Embiid and Paul George. I mean, that poor kid, man. I wouldn't blame him if he requested a trade out of here. Like, he just said, that's it, I'm done, get me out. Like, and I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him. I'd be like, look, man, that's just something you got to throw your hands up and go, well, hey. So, It's crazy, man. To think of and and Daryl Morey, who came here with all this, yeah, he's a good GM, smart guy, and really kind of scratching your head, going, okay, smart about what? Like to me, I think he's insane. He keeps trying to do the same thing over and over again. That's the mark of insanity. So, again, guys, make sure you guys check out Big Al coming up basically right after me tonight. It'll be him and it'll be Big Al coming up right after me for the Fightins final. So make sure you stay tuned for him here on It's a Wrap Sports. So, and if you're checking in over on TikTok, go to It's a Wrap Sports, either on X, YouTube, or Facebook. Go over there. Make sure you check us out. Like I said, we cover all 162 of the Fightins finals. So make sure you get over there and you will see Big Al Safiri. He will be probably all coffeeed up, running around, doing backflips for you guys, because this game's probably going to end at about 1. Well, no, it started at 9:40 tonight, so I would imagine 3 hours. So, yeah, roughly around probably 12:30ish or so. So, but Al will probably be doing backflips. So, matter of fact, I can probably almost guarantee it. Oh, man. All right. We covered those two teams. Now we got to cover the Birds. And this, to me, right here, I'm going to put up the schedule, man. And again, this schedule to me, Lord. I think the first 5 games are like going to be really tough. I really, really do. Speaking about the Birds, man, I mean, that Dallas game on Thursday Night Football, I like the Birds in that game. 1, it's home. We're going to have all the emotion. 2, I think Dallas is going to be better, but I think they'll be better kind of like in the midseason, because Dallas has got a really, really kind of crazy they got a crazy stretch too coming up this year. But that Kansas City game, a lot of people are giving the Eagles a loss in that game. And I'm not so sure about that. And I'm going to say the reason why I'm not so sure. That Kansas City game, you got to remember, they're flying back. They got a division game in Brazil against the Chargers. And if you remember, when the Eagles came home and played, the Eagles had a Monday night game. They had an extra day. They played Friday and then didn't have to play on Monday. And if you remember just how sloppy they looked in that Atlanta game, man, coming in, like that trip coming back from Brazil, Kansas City's going to find out just how real that is. So, I mean, hopefully they get a win against the Chargers and, kind of feel good about themselves. And, but that's a long flight, man. And I remember, watching the Eagles last year. Eagles played Green Bay down there. They beat Green Bay, came back, and, man, they were horrible on that Monday night game we had Atlanta at home. And that game, it was bad, man. It was bad. So I'm not necessarily writing that game off as a loss. And I think they can start 3-0. And the only reason I say they're starting 3-0 is I'm sorry. I think the Rams are probably the second best. I think they're probably second or third best team in the NFC. But they got to come cross country, and they got a 1:00 game. Like, this game's not a 4:00 game. It's a 1:00 game. So they're going to feel like they're playing at 10:00 in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I think where the Eagles might get tripped up. But I don't know about this one either, because what kind of Tampa team are you going to get? You know what I mean? Like, this Tampa team, for me, man, I'm just wondering, that Denver game is going to be a tough game. I really do. I think Denver's got a really good defense, and I think Sean Payton will have those guys ready to play. I think that might be like their first test. I'm being dead serious. Would it surprise me if they lost the Tampa game? No, because we've lost the last 3 times we played down there. But I also kind of think, too, in the back of the Eagles' mind, they lost the last 2 down there, but they didn't have A.J. Brown on the field for those games. I want to see how Tampa does when they got to know they got to cover A.J. Instead of just worrying about doubling up on Goddard and Devontae Smith. So I want to see how they react to that. But out of those first 5 games, could the Eagles be 5-0? I think they could. But I'll tell you what, if they do come out 5-0, a lot of these teams on the back end better be worried, because a lot of people think that this is a tough stretch coming right out. And you know what? I'm even going to throw this Giants game in too, because they play Denver. And then after Denver, they got to go a short week. They got to go up the Turnpike to go play another Thursday night game, against the New York Giants. And, I think, either one of those games, the Denver game or the first Giants game, they could get tripped up. I am not worried about Minnesota. I'm sorry. I seen J.J. McCarthy play quarterback. I'm not thoroughly impressed with him. And he sat out all last year. This dude's not going to take the league by storm. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Their best bet was to keep Sam Darnold in Minnesota, and they chose to let him walk. So after that, they come back home again to play the Giants. I think at this route, I'd say right now out of these, 8 games, I probably have them in around 6-2 at the worst, 7-1. I mean, best would be 8-0, but I don't think they'll be perfect going into that. I would be very shocked, to be honest with you. I just don't think the Cowboys. I think this is the game I wanted too. I wanted the Cowboys for banner night, but I just feel like Dallas has had too many moving pieces coming in. Like, their line's not going to be right by the first game of the year. I'm sorry. I think that's a big advantage for the Eagles in that game. They do have 2 pass rushers that weren't on this team a year ago, that were, on the teams, that were pretty decent guys, and Josh Uche and Ojulari. So I that's why I wanted to see them open up with the Cowboys. I really did. I wanted to see them open up. But again, after the first 8, I think the best would be 8-0. I think the worst would be 6-2. And like I said, there's kind of between the Tampa and the first New York Giants game, they may lose one of those games in there. And like I said, I'm not confident in J.J. McCarthy, but other than the Super Bowl, the Eagles very rarely play well in Minnesota. There's kind of a house of horrors for us. And then they get their bye on week 9, which I think it comes at a good time. I think then they got to go to Green Bay. Basically, straight back-to-back weeks, man. They got, this is a killer schedule. It really is. They got Green Bay in Green Bay. A lot of people think that's going to be a loss. I don't. I think we match up very well with Green Bay. This is the game that I really want to see. I do. This Sunday Night Football game at the link between Detroit and the Eagles. I think that game is probably that might be the game of the year. I think the Eagles got a chance to have 2 of the games of the year type candidate between this one and then towards the end of the season with the Buffalo Bills. So here's my thing with this. Anyway, they have that game. I think they beat Green Bay, and I think they edge out the Lions. I think they're just a little bit better than the Lions. This is where I think we get tripped up again. I think when we go to Dallas, I think Dallas will win that game. I think they would have their ship right by then. But like I said, I don't remember their schedule offhand, but I do know, literally getting ready to head into, I don't know if it's from Thanksgiving on, they got a 5 or 6 week stretch from hell too. Dallas' schedule is just, if you looked at strength of schedule, they're right behind the Eagles. Not in front of us, they're behind us. Their schedule was a little bit easier, but not much. And so, I mean, for me, I think they lose to Dallas. I think they come back and win the next 3 after that. I think they beat Chicago. I'm not on Black Friday. I'm not sold on Caleb Williams at all. Jim Harbaugh, I think, you know, I think that could be a shootout game, though. I think the defense could. I mean, they have Lad McConkey out there, the rookie wide receiver, and they just signed Najee Harris to beat her bell cow back out there in L.A. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders coming here, Raiders are going to get smoked. I'm not even like I'd be surprised if the Eagles didn't win by 20 in that game. I'd be surprised. This one here, these two, I think they win those next three, and I think they lose to They lose to the former Redskins team. That's right. I think they lose one to. I think they lose one to the Commanders. I think they split with the Commanders. This is my upset, though. I think the Eagles go to Buffalo, and I'm saying this now. This is in July 11th. I think they go to Buffalo. I think they beat the Bills in Buffalo. I think Jalen Hurts, if they unless the game is, even if it's bad weather, the Bills are going to get smoked. Like I'll say this, even if the weather is bad in Buffalo on that day, I still say the Bills get smoked because the Bills' defense isn't as good as the Eagles, and the Eagles can run the ball. The Bills don't. That's the problem with the Bills. Bills can't run the ball at all. So if it comes into where you have to run the football and chew time off the clock, the Eagles are gonna pound them, and Josh Allen ain't gonna be able to throw the ball. So it all depends on if it's a bad weather game, man. I'm jumping all over the birds for that one. Last game of the year, I think they beat Washington to go. So I think they finished with like a 14-3 record. I think I can see them going 14-3. I think between 13, 14 wins for the Birds. Because if you're an Eagles fan, you already know there's going to be a game on this schedule that we have marked down as a loss that they're probably going to win. And there's also a win we got written down on there that they're probably going to lose. So look at it like that. But I think at least 13. So whatever their over-under is in Vegas, I think the over-under in Vegas is like 11.5. I would take the over in that because I think the Eagles can definitely get over that hump. And I mean, and if they've come back, the one thing that I've got to say, Sirianni gets a lot of heat here for his sideline antics, the way he lips back off to people. I got to say, no, with him, I think he deserves a bit of I think he deserves a bit more respect. Now, I mean, Sean Payton's only won one Super Bowl too, and he's like the biggest god in the world, right? He's the biggest god in the world. Like Sean Payton's a god around coaches. He's only won one Super Bowl. Doug Peterson's only won one Super Bowl. There's quite a few guys that are out there. What's the guy that's now in Vegas? The one that came from USC in Seattle, Pete Carroll. He's only got one. So, I mean, he's right there. Sirianni's right there with them guys. And he's got a better record over his first 4 or 5 years now. He's got So, I mean, with that being said, man, I don't know. All right, guys. Well, listen, it's been fun. I gave you all 45 minutes tonight. It's been interesting to say the least. I did try this a little experiment with my TikTok, see how it went. I want to thank everybody over on TikTok who joined in for this. So again, thank you guys so much. And as far as TikTok goes, don't forget, coming up, guys, once again, Big Al will have you following the final out on the Fightins Final right here tonight. Matty B will have you tomorrow and Sunday. Don't forget to check out Matty B's Down on the Farm segment. Can't miss it. Sunday morning, me and Pat are back along with Al. I don't know if Pat will be back off of his vacation by then, but if it's not, then it'll just be me and Al. And if Al can't make it, it'll just be me. That's fine. I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line we'll find out. All right. Pat will return next Friday night. That is not Sundays. They got to do something with this overlay. I got to let them know. He will be back next Friday night at 10:30 to cover this show, the Wraparound. So make sure you guys tune in for him. Next Thursday night, Pat and Steve will have you covered with all the MLS action. And of course, our Philadelphia Union. And of course, last but not least, that's right. Last but not least, the final word with El Capitan. That's right, the boss, Matty B, every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in. Matty, again, one of my favorite segments for him is he does This Date in Philadelphia Sports History. Comes up with some really good nuggets, man. And if you like it, and he also does some stuff with cards. So if you're a big collector and sports memorabilia cards, you might be able to say it. So guys, make sure you tune in. Coming up then, boy. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. All right, guys. Well, listen, it has been fun, guys. Again, sorry. The outro music's just going to be the same music I came in with because the music is gone out of here for some other reason. So I will see you guys bright and early on Sunday morning. For Mike Lauro, I am Mike Lauro. Make sure you guys have a great night, and I will see you later.